I'll tell you what my opinion on the ordinance is. My opinion on the ordinance is that it's complete nonsense and that it should be torn up and thrown out. That's my opinion, my personal opinion on the ordinance. I'll repeat it for you. My opinion on the ordinance is that it should be torn up and thrown away. Okay. The arguments that are being made, and I've heard the arguments, in my organization, the argument that is being made is that we need to do this internally. I'm telling you what is happening internally. We need to do this because of political considerations. Everybody does this. The Congress party does this, the BJP does this, the Janata Dal does this, the Samajwadi does this, everybody does this. And there's a time to stop this nonsense. And I really feel that it's about time that political parties, mine and all others, stop making these type of compromises. Because if we want to actually fight corruption in this country, whether it's us, the Congress party or the BJP, we cannot continue making these small compromises, because when we make these small compromises, that we compromise everything. So that's my position on the ordinance. Thank you.
That was Rahul Gandhi in 2013, threatening to tear up his then Prime Minister Dr. Manmohan Singh's ordinance that gave a cover to convicted lawmakers.
There is a lot of action going on. You must have heard, I'm sure all of you have heard, of the new bill that the BJP is proposing. We are going back to medieval times when the king could just remove anybody at will. There's no concept of what an elected person is. He doesn't like your face, so he tells ED, put a case, and then democratically elected person is wiped out within 30 days. This is new.
This is the opposition of which Rahul Gandhi is a part in 2025, tearing and throwing papers in Parliament, over a bill that will ensure that those in positions of power cannot govern endlessly from jail cells.
भारत के संविधान का संशोधन करने वाले विधेयक को पुनर्स्थापित करने की अनुमति दी जाए। महोदय, मैं प्रस्ताव करता हूं कि जम्मू कश्मीर पुनर्गठन अधिनियम 2019 का संशोधन करने वाले विधेयक को पुनर्स्थापित करने की अनुमति दी जाए। महोदय, मैं प्रस्ताव करता हूं कि संघ राज्य क्षेत्र शासन अधिनियम 1963 का संशोधन करने वाले विधेयक को पुनर्स्थापित करने की मंजूरी दी जाए।
The opposition brought the House down in Lok Sabha after the 130th constitutional amendment bill that seeks to ensure that the system does not ensure that governance endlessly happens from jail was tabled by Amit Shah in Parliament. Spinning theories and lamenting about how the bill could be potentially misused.
Can I ask a question to the Honorable Home Minister? When he was the Home Minister of Gujarat, he had been arrested, sir. Whether he took the morality of that point of time?
The Modi government has made its position absolutely clear. A government cannot be run from behind bars. Home Minister Amit Shah reminded Congress's Shah Venugopal that when he was arrested in Gujarat in a case in which he now stands exonerated, he did not cling to power. He first resigned and only then was arrested.
मुझे सुनो जरा, मुझे सुनो ना, पहले बैठ जाओ, माननीय अध्यक्ष जी, मैं रिकॉर्ड क्लियर करना चाहता हूं, मुझ पर झूठे आरोप लगाए तब अरेस्ट होने के पहले मैंने नैतिकता के मूल्यों का हवाला देकर इस्तीफा भी दिया, और जब तक मैं कोर्ट से निर्देश नहीं हुआ, कोई संविधान पद मैंने स्वीकार नहीं किया। ये क्या सिखाते हैं नैतिकता में? मैं तो इस्तीफा देकर गया था।
The opposition erupted into what seemed like a total flap. Not just the Home Minister, but L.K. Advani too had resigned from his post merely on the basis of allegations. The opposition leaders continue to raise irrelevant arguments that show a sense of frustration.
Sir, Parliament democracy's chief ministers and ministers can only be removed through two means. First, executive prime minister can recommend their removal if the second council of ministers lose confidence of the legislature. Now, this bill would empower the unelected executive and bureaucracy to play the role of legislature. Sir, it undermines representative parliament democracy. This amendment would leave the minister and CM at the mercy of executive agencies. The severity of the amendment is not only in the fact that one loses their position if they are arrested, but even if they are detained, detention and administrative action doesn't require an offense to be made.
पूरा देश देख रहा था जिस तरह की गुंडागर्दी थी। अगर संशोधन विधेयक पेश हो रहा था गृह मंत्री द्वारा, उसे प्रेमचंद्रन ने सवाल उठाया है कि साहब जल्दी में, उन्होंने कहा कि हम इस बिल को जेपीसी को भेजने वाले। जब भारत के गृह मंत्री ने सदन में कह दिया स्पीकर साहब से कि हम तो फिर नहेष्ट था, इसमें लोकसभा राज्यसभा की सारी पार्टियों के सांसद उसमें मेंबर होंगे, फिर विचार होगा, उसके बाद बिल आएगा। लेकिन जिस तरह से फिर कांग्रेस के केसी वेणुगोपाल ने कागज़ फाड़ना शुरू किया, पहले फेंकना शुरू किया स्पीकर के चेयर पे, फिर आगे, फिर वेल में जिस तरीके से तृणमूल कांग्रेस और कांग्रेस के और सब लोग आ गए और जिस तरह से मतलब झगड़ा करने पे आमादा हो गए या गृहमंत्री के चेयर तक पहुंच करके जिस तरीके से किया, तो इसकी जितनी भर्त्सना की जाए, आज तो पूरी लोकतंत्र पे एक कुठाराघात है।
But what is the 130th constitutional amendment really about? Specifically, the 130th Amendment Bill proposes to add clauses to Article 75, Article 164 and Article 239AA of the Indian Constitution. The clauses aren't complex, they're pretty straightforward. If a minister is under arrest for a period of 30 consecutive days while holding office for an alleged crime which may extend to 5 years or more, the minister shall be removed from his office by the president on the advice of the prime minister on the 31st day. Now, what happens if the prime minister does not make the recommendation to the president to remove his or her arrested minister? Well, it does not matter. The minister shall cease to be a minister with effect from the 31st day after the arrest. Does it apply to the Prime Minister? Absolutely yes. Even if the Prime Minister or Chief Ministers or state-level ministers are behind bars for 30 straight days, they shall be automatically removed from the post. The opposition has labelled the amendment as Hitleresque. But what will the 130th Amendment of the Indian Constitution ensure? 1. No endless governance from jail. 2. Those who wield influence in governance matters, state or center, and are arrested in serious cases will have to hand over their resignations before or within 30 days of the arrest. 3. Should the individual be stuck in a hogwash case, there's always a window for bail, quashing, or a stay of 30 days, which seems sufficient before the individual is removed from the post. The amendment safeguards against any theories that any opposing dispensation will exploit the 130th Amendment because it explicitly says that once the individual is released from custody, they will be reinstated into office. The 130th Amendment will ensure history does not repeat itself from the days of Arvind Kejriwal, who ran the Delhi government from jail as Chief Minister from 21st March 2024 to 17 September 2024 before finally handing the resignation to Atishi. Equally, the amendment safeguards against misuse. A 30-day grace period to prove any misuse of the law, a reinstatement finality once out of custody. Both build a watertight legislation to ensure that the law of the land gives an equal ear to the accused. For now, the bill would be placed before the Joint Parliamentary Committee of Parliament, where it would be thoroughly discussed for it to become an act.